Hey everybody, what's up? Circus here, coming at you with this week's power rankings. There was a huge shakeup in the meta over the past week, so I'm pretty excited to go over the results. And with me, as always, is Kamell. How you doing, buddy?
I am doing great, and I'm ready to go over our first week of new ban list events. And yeah, it's gonna be sick. It's a lot of big
Yeah.
changes. Let's see.
All right, so if you're new to the video series and you don't know what we're doing here, every week we track tournaments and we see how the decks finish in those tournaments. Then based on how they do, we assign them points and then rank them. So if a deck gets a first place finish, they get 6 points. If it gets a second place finish, it gets 4 points. A top 4 is worth 2 points, and a top 8 is a single point. And then the tournaments we track are all rounds of Swiss into a top cut. They have a side deck, 5-card or 6-card side deck, and you can side in a skill if you want to. And everything's best of 3. All right. So keeping that in mind, these are the tournaments that met those qualifications this week. We did all of our Battle Phase series. You'll see Anti-Phase at the top. That's just Battle Phase Sunday with a cool sponsorship name. So thank you for that. We also had the Meta Weekly. They're back. They're back.
We finally woke up.
Yep. The Pharaoh's Cash Tourney, the God Meta Weekly, Dual World Weekly, the Battle Series Night. And then a big shout out to the Duel Links All-Stars. They had a charity tournament on Saturday that was really lit. So I hope you guys had a chance to catch that.
11 tournaments again this week. Nice.
Yeah. Nice sample size. All right, so here we go. Are you ready? And in first place, it's Shira Blackwings.
Blackwings.
What?
Just as we predicted off the heels of the new ban list, Blackwings would be the most dominant deck, and by far getting 17 more points than the next deck, which is Esabers. That is huge. It's been a while since Blackwings have been first place, and by such a large margin. That is insane.
Yep.
And yeah, just looking down, the next couple decks are just stuff that we've seen maybe weren't affected as much by the ban list. Esabers, Neos, Witchcrafter, Blue Eyes.
These are all actually success stories with the new ban list, because Esabers, as you see, moving up. Neos, they were number 1, then they dropped off the list, and now they're back at number 3. Witchcrafters are steadily climbing up the list now. And Blue Eyes, there's a reason they're on the list, right? I think we did a video about that last week, and you'll see their representation was way up this past week. So.
Oh yeah.
All right, let's get into it, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, Blackwings. Look at this. An absolutely insane amount of tops.
Look at that. 3 tournament wins for Blackwings in their first week of post-ban list events. This is absolutely insane. We already knew, right, that Blackwings had an insane matchup against one of the new decks, Witchcrafters. But Blackwings also being one of the only tiered decks not to get hit on the ban list means that people are experimenting with them. They want to see if Blackwings are really strong because they didn't get hit and all the other tiered decks did. But honestly, it doesn't seem like much has changed around the Blackwing list. As we can see here, it's pretty standard. Next to since the last time they got nerfed off, still playing that Blackbird close. That is a big win condition for them.
Huge. You get that turn 1.
Yeah. And something that they have over a lot of other decks. Most decks do not have a monster negate, let alone a monster negate from the hand. Pretty insane. And easy access to Necro Valley, as always, will just eliminate certain decks from being able to compete with you.
And this is the part that's going to kill you here, because I'd like to think that at this point we're social media influencers, right? Like I have a business card, and I put that under there. Celebrity Circus, social media influencer. That's my profession at this point.
Social media influencer.
Yeah, and you'll see the conversion rate here, how many times it was represented. 89 times in this past week. That's up 43 times over last week. So 43 more people brought him into tournaments because of I would like to think of what the work we've done here, but you can see the top 32 is way up, the top 8 is up, but the conversion rate is actually down. It's kind of weird how that works out.
Well, maybe because the deck did get a 50% boost in representation. So even though picking up 3 tournament wins does not surprise me, their conversion rate dropped a little bit. And just a fun fact, all of the winning Blackwing decks this week used the same exact list, card
Right.
for card, except maybe I think some guys used. Oh, I don't even know what's the difference between these decks. They're
Yeah.
all. One of them is running 3 cosmic, and the other ones. Oh, they're yeah. It's the Zephyros. The amount of Zephyros they're running. But yeah, that is pretty insane. All 3 of these deck lists nearly identical, all winning tournaments.
Yep.
Blackwings are on a
Well, when you got
tear.
something that works, why mess with it? And I think you're just going to see this deck over and over. We're getting ready to go into Battle Phase Sunday, which is anti-phase right now, and I have a feeling I'll be calling a lot of Blackwing games.
For sure. I don't doubt it.
All right, going on to number 2 here. Esabers up 11 spots from last week. They completely dropped off. 28 points. That's 23 more points than they had last week. 2 tournament wins, 2 second places, a top 4, and then all the top 8s. A lot of people said that they probably benefited the most, obviously besides Blackwings, from the ban list.
A lot of other decks that were able to challenge Element Sabers got hits, whether they be big or small. Dark Magician, Rod to 2, hurts the consistency of the deck, and consistency is big against Element Sabers when you're 2 like very powerful decks that can do a lot. Consistency is everything. So Dark Magician losing that definitely did make the way in. I didn't see Dark Magician at the top this week, so
Yeah,
Element
not too good
Sabers
for them.
picking up 2 tournament wins, no hit on the ban list. We're starting to see the text like the Spear Karibo coming in, and cards like Unending Nightmare and Fusion Reserve make it into more main decks
Winda
than
even. We're
they
seeing
were
Winda.
before. Yeah, Winda also becoming a good resource for the deck so they can stall out to get their resources. So pretty good there.
And we see some decks are running 2 Malehu.
Yeah, cutting down to 2 Malehus so they can opt to run more tech cards like the Spirit Grebo we see on screen, or just more heavy back row, Karma Cut, whatever have you. But yeah, there we go.
Well, look at this
Oh,
list. It's got what, 6, 7 playable monsters?
yeah, this is a pretty tight list.
Yeah.
Albeit, yeah, a lot of big back row here. But honestly, doesn't seem like Element Sabers have changed too much. Just what
No,
has changed around them
that's
has
all that
allowed
matters.
has allowed them for success this week.
All right, we'll check their conversion rate. So overall representation was up. Top 32s were up. Top 8s were up. All in all, this is a deck on the rise. We'll have to see if it continues. But yeah, all good stuff right now for them.
Yeah, Esabers just like for them to like not continue going, there just has to like be some crazy thing that
Just
just
hard nerf, yeah.
hard nerfs them or hard hits them in tournament
Yep.
play. But there's nothing like that right now, and E-Sabers are gonna run amok like they used to until that happens. So yeah,
There you
E-Sabers
go.
doing pretty well right now.
All right, third place, Neos. Look at this.
Mhm.
Up 3
Neos
spots.
back from the grave. Again, Neos. This was hit by the ban list, believe it or not. Not too hard, though. Only certain variants were. So people are still coming through strong with the invoked Neos with the volcanic shells. The list that brought you so much success and won the power rankings a couple weeks ago. It did not get hit on the ban list, and it is doing well, picking up 2 tournament wins in the Battle Phase Monday and the Duel Links All Stars event.
Well, if you look, it's getting good points, I guess you could say. Because look at Blackwings, they get a lot of top 8 points. That's a single point
Yeah.
here and there. Most of the points for Neos here, I mean, it's first place,
First
second
and
place, second place. Yeah. So they only have 2 top 8s. That's only 2 points right there. So most of their points are from being at the top of the tournament, the very top of the tournament. Where other decks, they'll score the low hanging fruit, those top 8s, and they get a lot of top 8s, and they'll score a lot of points that way. Not with Neos this week.
And Neil's performing this week, not playing around.
Yeah, let's check that out. So overall representation up, not a whole lot. They're they're topping a little bit better, but the conversion rates, double digit conversion rates going up. That's pretty good. So
6% into the top 32.
yeah, so Yeah, it's good stuff. If
Yeah,
you
solid deck, good matchups against the other meta decks. And again, the ban list is everything. Even though it is not implemented yet, because it's not implemented and all these events are utilizing it, people are being experimental, right? They don't want to, most people aren't going to use decks that got hit. Neos made it out clean, so they want to see how it stacks up. And by the looks of it, stacked up pretty well.
All right, next deck is a deck I am enjoying because I spent a lot of money on it, but a lot of people are starting to hate already, and I think it's too bad because I think it's a fun deck, but it's the deck that people love to hate, and that's Witchcrafters. And this one, the deck lists are so big I couldn't fit them in the area, so I had to cut it in half and put it next to
Yeah,
each other. I'll work on that for next week. But
they're all
because
30 cards.
they're 30 cards plus the extra deck, so excuse the the cut up deck there. But you can see they're doing well too. Look at this, fourth place, up a spot, 21 points. So that's a lot more points than they had last week, and they actually got a tournament win. And if you look at it, was in the Dual World Weekly, and look at that, first place, second place, and a top four.
They it was a mirror match, and the three out of the top four decks. Whoa.
Right. Yeah. Well, look, and then in the top eight, there was another one too.
Yeah, now a lot of what should I say? A lot of what's looking at Witchcrafters right now is how they are matching up against decks post ban list, especially Blackwings, right? It
Yeah.
is unfortunate this deck's weakest matchup, Blackwings, went unchecked during the most recent ban lists. And just taking a look at Battleface EU, the tournament that they got second place, they did lose to Blackwings. And
Yeah.
last week, that was a very big problem for the deck. In fact, I don't even think it saw as much representation this week. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Besides the Machine Angel rituals, which is not a guarantee in the grave, they don't have protection from destruction.
Yeah, they do not. Not at all. And this is a
So
very big
that's what
deck.
Blackwings are very good at. They can destroy in the main phase and then go in the battle phase and destroy some more. So that's why Witchcrafters are having such a hard time with them.
It's like those conversion rates.
All right. So here you go. But look at this representation of a lot. People are like, holy crap.
Yeah.
Top 32 conversion rate is actually down just a hair, not enough to really worry about it. Within the top 8 is up a little bit, so I think people are getting comfortable with the deck. And if you've played it, it can be confusing at times. There's a lot of like, what's in my hand, what's in the grave, who's in the grave, kind of like what cards can I combine in the grave, and there's a lot of moving pieces with that deck. So I think people are just getting comfortable with it.
I don't want to say it's too early to call to say this deck is just gonna forever be below Blackwings and not make it higher than tier three. But I don't know. I think Konami really did fumble the ball with Witchcrafters release. Like they did everything they needed except hit Blackwings for this deck to be running
Oh,
amok
you think this
everywhere.
was the deck? This was supposed to be the
Yeah,
next?
this
Yeah.
was supposed to be the next deck. I've heard a lot of people, saying that here and there, but I thoroughly believe that. They were trying to make this the next deck, but they missed it by a hair.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, they had the event. It's in a main box.
Character, they had
Yeah, it's just
everything.
everything, and then it just didn't work out. All right. Well, maybe next time, Konami. I still enjoy the deck. I know a lot of people love to hate it, but I'm gonna enjoy it. All right, and moving on to the last deck of this week that we're gonna cover. This one, again, social media influencer. We saw our boy Neg One do well with this in Clan Wars, and that started a fire which I immediately jumped on because I'm an opportunist, right? So I had to get in and get it on the wave, and that's Blue Eyes.
Yeah, Blue Eyes seeing a lot of play now with this kind of with removal back row and cards of consonance. A lot of people playing these two things together to remedy the fact that Blue Eyes bricks so much.
Mm-hmm.
Triple cards of consonance, you need to optimally see that in your opening hand so you can see the rest of your Blue Eyes plays, and then the discard removal really helps you interrupt your opponent and forward your Blue Eyes plays at the same time. So this list pretty effective now when it is able to set up effectively.
Well, this list is the one that won the Meta Weekly.
Right.
So
Yes, it is.
it did
Yeah.
pretty well. And then also had a top 4 in anti-phase and a top 4 in battle phase EU, and the rest were just top 8s. So I think it's all about the pilot, maybe.
Yeah, it did see a lot of its success in Clan Wars, which is what, made it popular. So this is Blue Eyes is definitely going to be a deck to look out for in the coming weeks. It definitely, I don't believe it was made any stronger. Maybe some way was made for it with the ban list, but it's all going to come down to who plays it and if it catches on.
All right, we're gonna look at the conversion rates, and these are gonna make you laugh. I remember going over these and being like, "Oh my god, wait till you see the representation."
What? What
6
the
people played it,
plus
and then the following week, 67 people played it.
67? Who are these people? 61 more people brought Blue Eyes this week. That is insane.
But
But
look
then
at
its
the
conversion
conversion.
rates are in the
Way
dirt.
down.
Oh my gosh.
Well, if
It
Neg
had
1 can do it, I can do it.
it had an exponential increase in representation, and of course, that's going to lead to conversion rate drops. Blue Eyes, while it's an
Yeah.
effective deck, it's not easy to pilot against the top decks in the format. So you really need to know what you're doing. And a lot of people, again, probably experimenting week of the ban list,
Right.
didn't work out for them so much.
Yeah, that's some good stuff, right?
Definitely keep an eye out for Blue Eyes. They can do a lot against, but I feel like they really are going to fall off against decks like Esabers, decks like Blackwings if they're unable to recover.
Right.
So, yeah.
All right, I want to get back to the main list and give a shout out here. I almost do this with a heavy heart.
Right.
Super Heavy Samurai did win a tournament this week. I
gosh.
hate that deck. I rail against that deck all the time. I have no idea how this guy won the tournament, but I'll give him a shout out. Super Heavy Samurai
Like to know as well.
won the PCT.
Honestly, congratulations to that guy who won
And
the
Goki's won a
PCT.
tournament too, so not
Gokis
bad.
did win the Battle Series Night Edition. So congrats over there as well. Always love to see our non-meta decks picking up W's.
And look at Dark Magician and
Oh, how the mighty have
Shiranui.
fallen.
They didn't get
Oh, how-
any wins
oh my
whatsoever.
gosh.
Yeah.
I
And
hate to see it.
Interesting thing about the Shiranui, they are the most represented deck of the week. 96
Ooh.
people played it. The conversion
Ooh.
rate into the top 32 was 15%, into the top 8 was 6%. And the
Wow.
best they did was top 4s. They had 3 top 4s and 3 top 8s. So there you go.
People, it's hard to say. You want to say people weren't taking their chances, but I think the good players weren't taking their chances, and everyone else who just has Shiranui, they were playing it and did
Right.
not succeed. So go take a look at our latest YouTube video and don't start your account with Shiranui.
Yeah, that's what we were warning people. It's going to happen
Yep.
eventually, and I think it's getting to that point. It isn't completely nerfed. You can probably play it on the ladder, but get out of my tournament. That's all I got to say. Get out of here.
Facts.
All right, guys. I hope you guys like this video. It's a lot of fun, especially when the meta gets shook up like this. So if you did like it, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Follow us on Twitch, Twitter, and Discord. Make sure to get in the Discord because that's where we host all of our tournaments. You'll get announcements for when they happen, and they're always free to enter. And make sure to check out Gamersupps. There's a link for that in the description below. You can get 10% off. It's like Kool-Aid, but it kicks you in the ass. I really like it.
I love it.
All right, so we'll see you next week for the power rankings. I'm Circus. That's Kamell.
Peace out.
All right, we'll see you later.